Like, I don't have no gang. I ain't in no gang. I got family. I got motherfuckers who willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me? Why don't f***ing play with me, man? Don't f***ing play with my motherfucking child, ever.
King Harris just hit rock bottom. And this time, there's no camera crew, no beat, no storyline to clean it up. His father, T.I., warned him this day would come, but King thought he was untouchable. Now he's sitting behind bars, stripped of his image, his ego, and the spotlight that once made him feel invincible. The 20-year-old who flexed the internet is now begging for help, realizing fame doesn't buy respect in jail. Word from the inside says it wasn't about a fight, it was about silence. And that's when the fear finally hit him. Picture this: a young man pacing a freezing county cell, concrete walls closing in, the metal door slamming like thunder behind him. That fake bravado he once wore like designer jewelry, it's gone. Each echo reminds him he's not special anymore. The air is heavy, his confidence draining like air from a pop balloon. That's when insiders say King cracked, finally making the call he swore he never would, calling out for his father, the same man he tried to clown, outshine, and distance himself from when the cameras were rolling. For months, King was online talking reckless, flashing guns, dissing rivals, flexing money, mocking anyone who called him soft or spoiled. But now, there's no Wi-Fi, no Instagram Live, no crowd hyping him up in the comments. Just silence.
What you want to do? What you want to take pictures of me? From here?
Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from here.
All right, so...
Oh, hell, y'all, let's go.
What's up with you, bro? What's up with you, bro?
Let's go.
Putting your hand around me, talking out your ass like you want to do something. What's up, bro?
Oh, Lord.
What's up, bro?
Nothing.
What? Relax, or what?
Nothing.
Or what? Or what?
Nothing.
Or what? Because you just tried me like a hoe, nigga.
This could be a good
Get about your business, my nigga. Get about your business, my nigga.
And it's louder than any beat he's ever rapped on. Reality hit him like a punch to the chest. Because inside those walls, last names mean nothing. Fame means nothing. Respect is earned, and the streets don't hand out second chances. And rumor has it, King made the mistake that changed everything. He was cracking jokes, trying to be funny, treating grown men like they were props in another viral clip. But this wasn't a Waffle House parking lot. There were no fans recording, no one to break it up when it went left. Just cold eyes watching, hardened faces waiting. Men who buried friends, lost families, and spent decades behind those same walls. And King, young, loud, and naive, was the easiest target in the room. When word spread that this wasn't just another loudmouth kid, but T.I.'s own son, everything flipped in an instant. The tension shot through block like electricity. King Harris wasn't just some internet tough guy anymore. He became a walking target. Some inmates saw a chance to earn stripes off his name. Others wanted revenge for what his father represented. And a few just wanted to make an example out of him. The weight of his last name became heavier than the bars surrounding him. Panicked and cornered, King reportedly sprinted to the jail phone, punching the one number he swore he'd never dial. Clifford T.I. Harris, the same father he'd been publicly beefing with just months before. "Wait till I get back and see him," King muttered on one recording, his voice trembling, caught somewhere between anger and fear. The confidence was gone. The jokes were gone. All that was left was raw panic, a desperate plea for protection, mercy, or just his father's voice. Because in that world, behind those walls, fame means nothing. Bloodlines and reputation are currency. And King was suddenly broke. Tio really understand how it got this bad. You have to rewind to October 2024. King wasn't caught in some wild gang sting or street shootout. Nah, he was in the suburbs, sliding out of a gas station in his black BMW. He almost clipped a police cruiser. One reckless turn, and boom! Blue and red lights lit up the street. Officers said they smelled weed, spotted weapons, and when they ran his name, there it was, a bench warrant. Old charges he'd ignored. And just like that, the son of a trap legend was cuffed, booked, and blasted across TMZ before the sun even came up. But here's the real question. If you were T.I., would you bail him out again? Or finally let him learn that lesson himself? See, in lockup there's one rule. Respect is money. And if you spend it wrong, you go broke fast. There's no shame in getting jumped, No shame in losing a fight. The only shame is backing down. So did King fight? No one really knows. But from what insiders say, King walked in with that same cocky energy he carried online, loud, defiant, ready to prove himself. But jail isn't Instagram. There's no comment section, no go off bro from fans. The people inside aren't internet trolls, they're lifers. Men with scars deeper than the beats King rapped over. Word spread fast. He was name-dropping, cracking jokes, flexing his father's fame. Big mistake. Because in there, the only thing worse than fear is arrogance. The minute you act like you're above the rules, the wolves start circling. And they did. Not to test King Harris the Kid, but T.I.'s son. The legacy, the pride of Atlanta. To them, humbling him meant humbling his whole bloodline. And that's when it got dark. Rumors say he was cornered, surrounded, threatened, not just with a beating, but with silence. These weren't men looking for a viral moment. They wanted to send a message. Fame won't save you here. And just like that, the mask fell off. The tough talk, the I'm built for this act gone. Insiders say the fear hit him deep when he heard the whispers that some crews weren't planning to fight him. They were planning to erase him. That's when he ran to the phones again, begging for T.I. to step in, hoping his father's name could do what his bravado couldn't, hoping someone, anyone, on the outside could smooth things over with money, favors, connections, anything. His mouth had been writing checks for months, and now the bill was due. The price? His safety. For years, T.I. had warned him this was coming. That path doesn't end in fame, he'd say. It ends in prison. But like any 20-year-old who thinks he knows better, King brushed it off. Remember that viral Falcons game in 2023? When father and son nearly turned the VIP suite into a boxing ring. King yelling that he wasn't raised soft. Claiming he grew up rough at grandma's house, not in the mansion, trying to prove he was real. Meanwhile, T.I., a man who'd actually done federal time, could only shake his head, watching his son chase the same pain he fought to escape. He'd seen this movie before. He knew the ending. So when that call came from behind bars, when his son's voice finally cracked asking for help, it hit different. This wasn't just karma. This was prophecy. T.I. didn't go public this time. No Instagram rants. No tough love clips. No sympathy posts. Just silence. I'm not the only one with bad kids, he once said. If you got 3 or more, you got one that make you question everything. But behind the scenes, the phones were on fire. Sources say lawyers were called. Favors cashed in, and even OGs from Atlanta's underworld were quietly tapped. T.I. was pulling every string he could find, checking every angle to make sure his son stayed alive, because this wasn't just about saving King. It was about protecting a legacy, a family name, a future hanging by a thread. For T.I., it wasn't just a rescue mission. It was redemption, a chance to rewrite the same story he once lived before the streets finished writing it for his son. Because if fame makes you a bigger target than behind bars, was King Harris doomed from the start? Drop your thoughts below and hit that subscribe button, because this story is still unfolding in real time. Now listen, the internet loves to exaggerate. We all know that. But this time, the whispers feel way too detailed to ignore. Multiple blogs, hip-hop forums, and street insiders are all saying the same thing. Those gangs inside weren't just trying to humble King. They had something way deeper in mind. And let's be real, it's easy to judge from the outside. But parenting in the spotlight? That's a whole different battlefield. Most kids make their mistakes in private. King made his in front of millions. Still, what went down inside wasn't just another scuffle. These guys didn't want to fight. They wanted a name. In jail politics, taking down the son of a celebrity means instant clout. It earns respect, stripes, and a story that travels fast. All the things King had been chasing online came crashing down on him in real life. Because according to insiders, King's own mouth wrote the check that got him in trouble. He was allegedly mocking older inmates, bragging about money, acting like the cameras were still rolling, until someone whispered, "That's T.I.'s boy." That's when the energy shifted. The air turned cold. And suddenly, King wasn't just another loud young inmate. He became a symbol, a walking billboard for every grudge against fame, privilege, and a Harris name. And from that point on, survival wasn't guaranteed. That's why sources say T.I. was scrambling behind the scenes, not for bail, not for lawyers, but for safety. Because in that world, survival isn't about money or fame. It's about silence, power, and who controls the fear. You don't know what the hell you're going to do with, right? One insider said, painting a chilling picture of just how deep it got. And here's the heartbreaking truth. King spent years trying to prove he was real. But now, reality itself might be what destroys him. He should have learned that lesson the moment he became a father. Holding his baby boy, King Jr., in late 2024 should have been the moment everything changed. The moment he stepped into manhood. But instead, the cycle started spinning all over again just like T.I. feared. One generation clawed their way out the trap, only to watch the next one run straight back into it. For T.I., this ain't about saving his son from a few bruises. It's about breaking a curse. It's about proving that hip-hop royalty can raise sons who don't crash chasing the same street life their fathers barely survived. And now for King, the crossroad is clear as day. Grow up, or go down that same dark road that almost ended his father's story. So here's the real question. Will King Harris rise into the father, artist, and man he swears he wants to be? Or will he end up stuck as the punchline in his own cautionary tale? Because those gangs inside, they're not waiting for his next mixtape. They're waiting on his next mistake. And mistakes, as King is finally learning, can be fatal. The question isn't just whether he survives jail. It's whether he survives the cycle. So what do you think? Will King finally break free, or fall right back into the trap that's haunted his family for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe. Because the story, it's far from over. And the next chapter could change everything.